Namaste everyone. Welcome to our gentle yoga. This type of gentle yoga is designed as a palliative yoga. Palliative yoga is primarily a preventive style, but it can have therapeutic effects also. It is designed for stress reduction and to increase the energy of communication in body systems, which stimulates better immune system and body's repair mechanism. One feels better and minor issues can get resolved. Yoga brings good health of mind and body, inner awareness, and a sense of cosmic connection. Regular discipline practice is key. So if you miss a day, please use the video recording on YouTube at Life in Yoga Rajan. Yoga is not a physical exercise and it's not a religious practice either. So people with any religious background can do this. Some points to note. In this type of gentle yoga, we can do it sitting on a chair or on the floor. Main thing is to keep your spine straight but not stiff at all times. If you need to, please support your back. Do these practices gently, smoothly, and without jerks. Slower is better. Visualize the part of the body being exercised for maximum benefit. Follow instructions to avoid adverse reactions. Make sure there is no strain and you do it within your capacity. The breathing is slow and smooth. And if anything causes pain or discomfort, please stop immediately, avoid the practice, and seek clarification. If you have any questions regarding personal problem, you can send an email to the email addresses provided in the reminder email. And remember, liability is entirely yours. Thank you.
Namaste, everyone. So, as usual, we will begin with 3 ohms. Let's take a deep breath. Any questions on the Yoga Sutras till what we have covered yesterday? And if you recall, what we did was, we again repeated from Sutra number 22 of chapter 2 all the way to 29. And so today we are going to begin each one of these 8 parts of yoga. And so that is where we are. Any questions? Okay, then in that case, we can go straight to chapter 2, where we are beginning with the discussion of Ashtanga Yoga.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Just a quick question, if I may.
Go ahead.
Is there something special about number 8 in the Hindu philosophy or perhaps mythology? You have, in reading the sutras, the number 8 comes again and again, the Ashta. There is an 8-fold path in Buddhism, and there is a 8-fold symmetry in particle physics. In fact, that is how I came to know about the Eightfold Path in Buddhism by way of Professor Gulman at California Institute of Technology, a Nobel laureate in 1961 in physics. So is there something special about number 8 to your knowledge?
No, nothing that I know of other than the fact that common observation you have made, 8 seems to be there everywhere.
It seems that way.
Yeah.
Seems a special number. That's all.
Yeah, but you see, from the Hatha Yoga perspective, the way they look at this is slightly different. And there they don't have the number 8 over there. But anyway, that doesn't matter. But yeah, I cannot answer that question with any degree of, competence about the number 8. Okay.
Thank you.
So but we covered, as you remember, all of you who, just to backtrack a little bit, that by the process of being a pure observer, not judging anything, you reach a point where you're not accumulating new karmas. You're letting those with which you were born, the program which brought you into first creation, dissipate. No new karmas are created, and that leads to the state of Kaivalya. And this happens largely because of you're able to keep the attitude of an observer, only because of the wisdom that comes to you that there is no point creating new karmas by reactivity. And to reach that point, you need to cross 7-fold borders. And those 7-fold borders lead to the 8th state of Samadhi. And so that is, and the 8 of them are Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, as said in Sutra 29. Now we go to, he's going to define each one of these 8 segments. So what is ahimsa? Ahimsa, what is yama? Ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha, yamaha. So the Patanjali is talking about yama, and many of you will remember, I've already told you yama in a nutshell means being true to your conscience. I hope some of you will recall that. But here Patanjali is giving a few more details over here relative to the culture and civilization that Patanjali represents. So the concept of ahimsa, we will do Sutra 30 and 31 together. And then after that, we will talk a little more about yama. So ahimsa means non-violence. Satya means truth. Asteya means not stealing. Brahmacharya means curiosity to know. Aparigraha means not seeking to accumulate. And popularly it is said, not thinking of, wanting other people's property, that kind of thing. So then after he mentions these are the yamas, he goes on to say, yete, that these, jati desha kala samaya anavichinnaha. Anavichinnaha means unbroken. Unbroken by what? Jati means the state of birth. Desha means the place of birth. Kala means the epoch or times of birth, and samaya means the time of birth. Kala means epoch and samaya means the specific time. That's how you think of it. The era, the kala you can think of as era. And unbroken by all of these things, Sarvabhauma Mahavratam. It is the Mahavratam means you can call it as the great observation, or that great observance. The great observance is Sarvabhauma means universally true. So yama is universally true as a great observance, unbroken by the nature of your birth, or the place, or the epoch of those times, or the time of birth. Unconditionally, it is true universally. And what is its nature? ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. So in other words, let's understand each one of these. Actually, Patanjali will describe a little more about these in the later sutras, but for us to cover it quickly gives us better understanding when we go to them. You need to understand ahimsa means just not non-violence. It means not engaging in wanton and purposeless non-violence. Engaging in, no, it means not engaging in purposeless or wanton violence. So what do I mean by that? If a soldier is going into war, is that considered, is he violating ahimsa? Is he or her violating ahimsa? No, because what it is that is their duty. And so what happens is the concept ahimsa is purposeless, avoiding purposeless violence or, wanton violence, avoiding that. That is what is ahimsa. So that is why you can understand, those of you familiar with the philosophy from Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling Arjuna to go and fight the battle and go and kill his own kith and kin. And because that is the duty of the warrior at that time, since the war has been declared. So ahimsa should not be misunderstood. By the same token, satya does not mean truth is never absolute. Truth is only what you know. So there was a period in time when many people thought the earth was flat. If they said the earth was flat, that was the truth to them, okay? So in other words, what happens is the idea of truth is very personal to you in terms of what you believe is true. And by the same token, when we think about asteya, not stealing, it is entirely relative to how you see it. There are some gray areas which you can think of. Like, for example, you're walking along a street and you find that there is the wall that separates into the compound of somebody, and there's a big tree that comes from there, and there is a fruit that is, the branch coming over the fence, and the fruit has fallen onto the street over there. Now, you picked up that fruit and you walked on. Is it stealing? Now, let's say on the other hand, if it's a private property. On the other hand, let's say the branch was coming right over the wall and the fruit was hanging on the tree. If you reach out and plucked it, is it stealing? Now, of course, if you, on the other hand, saw that there was a very nice fruit inside the garden over there, and so you climbed over the wall and you took that, is that stealing? Compare the three situations. So you can understand that it is all in your own perspective. If you think of the Native American Indians, for them, they didn't have any concept of ownership of land. And so the part is basically similarly, if you think in terms of, you're walking along the street, you see a fruit fallen over there, then in which case your assumption is the person who owns that place and all of that doesn't care about it. It's for anyone to take. By the same token, if you had seen that there is something that is extremely valuable, like somebody has left, let's say somebody has dropped their wallet over there and it has a lot of money. And if you picked it up and walked away with it, yes, it is stealing, right? So because you know who it belongs to somebody else. And maybe if there is a card or something inside that says who they are. So the key part is it is your assumption about the nature of ownership that makes something stealing or not stealing. And just like the ahimsa, satya, or ahimsa and satya, asteya, stealing is very much governed by your perception relating to the convention of that society and how it is viewed and things like that. It's not absolute. Brahmacharya means, Brahma means all of existence. Chara means to move in it. In other words, exploring all of existence. So that is why a student is called a brahmachari, because the student is seeking to know. Curiosity to know is what brahmacharya is all about. And with your curiosity to know, you try to figure out what is the right conduct you should be doing. And aparigraha, meaning not seeking to acquire more, or for that matter, looking at neighbors and thinking you want that and this and things like that. Essentially, not craving or seeking to take what others own, right? So that is what aparigraha is all about. So you can understand the concept of yama is being true to your conscience, not violating. That is what it's all about. And that is something that must be true all the time. Why is this so important? This is so important because anytime you violate your conscience, that internal conflict will prevent you from being in peace with yourself, and therefore the nadis that need to be purified, when they are purified, you are able to connect into the cosmos and realize the cosmic truth, essentially the intuitive awareness, prajna, that comes to you. That can never happen, because if there are conflicts, the nadis will get blocked. So being unconflicted, because by being true to your conscience, is what the nature of yama is being pointed out over here. Any questions here? Okay, so then we'll go on to the next one, niyama. But the niyama are again fivefold, and Patanjali again defines it relative to the times and civilization he comes from. Shaucha, Santosha, Tapas, Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhanani, Niyamaha. Okay, let's revisit. Tapa means, we have already said in the beginning of chapter 1, Tapa, Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhanani, Kriya Yogaha. You remember sutra number 1, right? So in other words, what he is basically talking about is that the concept of Kriya Yoga was to learn to be a pure, to realize this body is only an instrument in order to fulfill the programs. And by doing that, you're able to cleanse yourself and reach the state of samadhi, right? So that is how he explained it in Sutra 1 and 2. So now what he is talking about is the process of purification begins by regularity in the way in which you behave. So what he is saying is the concept of purification, the concept of self-inquiry, swadhyaya, and the concept of surrender to God or letting things go, those are very much needed, but he adds 2 more things over there. Shaucha means purity, and santosha means being content, satisfied. So contentment and purity or cleanliness, and working towards, burning off one's programs within by being a pure observer and seeking to know and letting things go, surrender to God. These are what makes it, the niyama. In the concept of this purity, the point to be made is, you will recall, I had mentioned earlier on, niyama refers to regularity in living. Now, regularity in living refers to, on a daily basis, following the biorhythm, so that you're in sync with your biorhythm. And this is the reason in the Indian tradition, you will find that from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed, it pretty much looks the same every day. And how when people typically wake up in the morning, what they do, whatever, cleaning this thing and all of that, or having a bath and all of that, and how they go through the end of the day. So keeping that routine makes you in sync with the biorhythm, And at the same time, while the vibrations are in sync with biorhythm, you're also seeking to self-inquire and have an attitude of letting go. So in other words, yama and niyama together are really taking care of everything that needs for you for purification. So many people have said, yama and niyama alone are enough for you to attain the higher wisdom and go beyond rebirth, okay? But on the other hand, Patanjali Muni gives us a lot more as to how to go about it. And Patanjali himself will tell you that the yama niyamas are alone enough, particularly the niyama, the Ishvara Pranidhana, he will tell you that. And in fact, he already told you that in chapter 1, that Ishvara Pranidhanat va, whereby you can attain the highest self-realization. So he's going to say it again later in chapter 2. Now in Sutra number 33, he is referring to the yama and niyama, okay? What he is talking about is vitarka badhane pratipaksha bhavanam. Vitarka means through argument. Badhane, that means what happens is there is something which your mind finds very attractive and you want to justify, you need to go that way. But on the other hand, you know that is not being true to your conscience. There is an opportunity to make a quick buck. But on the other hand, you know that you're not being true to your conscience. It'll end up cheating someone or doing something that is not quite right. So what he's talking about is anytime you have this kind of a mental argumentation about, getting caught into this, violating yama or niyama, then what you do is you work on it by pratipaksha bhavanam. Pratipaksha bhavanam means by considering the opposite side, what are the consequences? And what is the consequences is explained in Sutra number 34. Vitarka hinsa deha krita karita anumodita lobha krodha moha purvaka mrudu madhya adhimatra dukkha ajnana ananta phala iti pratipaksha bhavana. So in other words, what he is saying is, by logic, vitarka, or by argumentation, what you're saying is something that is going to create himsa, that is, create violence of a purposeful violence. And then after that, you're basically justifying it. Krita karita, whatever you have done, that is krita karita. Anumodita is your sanctioning, you're mentally sanctioning it, right? You do something wrong and you justify, okay, it's acceptable for this reason. And you can think of how many people who do that. We have a stark example these days. So lobha is because of greed. Krodha means because of anger. Moha means because of infatuation. Purvaka, after all of that, what would happen? There will be mridu is little, madhya is moderate, adi is excessive, matra is magnitude, dukkha, misery, ajnana means lack of true wisdom, ananta phala. So dukkha, ajnana, ananta means unending, phala, fruit, iti. So in other words, by doing things that are not, that are violation of the yamas and niyamas, and you try to justify it by many ways, you argue it within yourself. This is going to put you into the cycle of more misery and more unawareness, and you will be falling into the infinite cycle of the fruitioning of the karmas. Such thinking, that is iti pratipaksha bhavanam. This is what is the opposite way of thinking, so that you don't fall into the trap of violating yamas and niyamas. So now then from here on, Patanjali Muni is going to describe yama and niyama in much more detail, where he is going to talk about, let's say, We have up to sutra number 48, where he is going to talk about yamas and niyamas. No, up to 45. So what we will do is we will stop at this sutra number 34, and we'll begin from sutra number 35 next time. So here he is going to talk about each one of them, each of the yamas and each one of the 5 niyamas, what they really mean. He's going to speak about it, and you will find is simply more explanation, and we'll cover that quickly next time. So with that, we stop over here. Any questions? Yes, Bharat.
I'm sorry if I've take too much time. So I just want to ask.
No problem. Perfectly okay.
So in the sutras, there's reference to knowledge, to wisdom, and then to practice, which I think of as experience. So when you practice something, you experience some things which sometimes can transcend knowledge and wisdom. Is the equal weightage given to all of these, or are those steps to the next step?
By the nature of how Yoga Sutra is brought in, wisdom is experiential knowledge that comes from direct experience of connectivity. Knowledge is information. So the thing is, you see, there are 3 words within the Yoga Sutra that describes what is the kind of knowledge level we are talking about. The word jnana means information. Prajnana or prakrishta jnana refers to information that is based upon analysis of cause and effect. So there is a kind of a proof behind it. And so that is why we use the word vijnana to mean science. Then prajnana means prakrishta jnana, that comes from the samadhi state of intuitive awareness. That is the wisdom we talk of. So when the word prajna is used, when the word viveka is used, it is referred to the wisdom, or wisdom only, which comes from experience.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay.
On Satya.
Yeah.
So since the truth is not absolute, so why is it wrong for Trump to think that he has not lost the election?
Well, the thing is, basically, there is that sutra which we just read, that, you self-sanction yourself to go and say all the untruths and all these things because of krodha, lobha, and moha. All of these are part of it. You think he doesn't know that? He definitely knows that. But for him, it's all a facade. Now, the krodha, moha, loha, and lobha, that is what is driving him.
Yeah, I mean, he knows it, but he doesn't know because it's not, it's kind of covered in the desire to stay in office.
Well, so in other words, what you're saying is, either he is an innocent baby who doesn't understand what is going on, or you're trying to say he is justifying for himself his actions are appropriate because of his lobha, krodha, and moha, and this thing. So either way, he is in violation of yama and niyama. Okay, if it's a krodha, this thing, otherwise you're saying he's a child. He doesn't know what is happening.
So, Dr. Rajan,
Yes.
the way I see it, what all you explained, it holds true for a normal human being. If someone is delusional, or if someone is, they have a condition, a medical condition, they do not understand life like the way a normal person would, then of course, you cannot apply all those to them, right?
You are right about that. But the case that, Subramanian Kumar mentioned, about is that's not the case. It's all posturing. He fully knows that. He's not a
Yes.
delusional person.
I totally agree, Raj. He knows everything. He fully knows
Exactly.
it. He
Yeah,
knows it. He's doing it purposefully.
exactly.
He's narcissistic, so his reality is I'm not defending him, I'm just saying that his reality is very different from our reality.
No. The thing is basically you have no idea about the advertising and media world. He is an expert in manipulating media. He knows how to use
Agree.
it.
Totally
And by the
agree.
way, I have been on Madison Avenue. And so the thing is, you see, I used to work in Madison Avenue years back. Okay. So the thing is basically the part about advertising is how to brainwash you. That is the power of advertising. And the way in which it is done is if you keep lying and keep repeating the lying all the time, eventually people will start to believe the lie as the truth. That is how it
Exactly.
works.
No, I
it is simply-
totally agree with you. It's just it's
and
hard to
he's a master
imagine
at it.
a human
No.
being behaving like that, It's like
Yes.
just so
It is
hard.
not only human being. There's loads of human beings who behave like that because they have learned that's how to brainwash into people.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah. So
And-
let's not
and
have
he-
this idea of him being delusional. Okay.
And he knows that because he's been telling on the side to others, look at all these fools, they really believe me and all that. So he's also mocking them at the same time.
But Sir Rajan, one question I really I'm really surprised is when people grow old, they become more pardoning. They don't curse. They don't talk negative. They become different person, right? Whatever they did when they was 20 years old. After 50 years old, the violence, everything will come down automatically. But why this guy is like that? I couldn't-
Listen, the thing is, you see, what happens is
it's very rare.
it doesn't happen for everyone universally. Each person is in their own zone of becoming more mature as they learn from life experiences. In fact, the most interesting aspect you will find is that you see Republicans have been wanting to put very conservative judges on the Supreme Court. Okay, but was made the Chief Justice by George Bush. At that time, the thinking was that this person as a young person would remain a conservative. We will have a good conservative bloc over there. And what is happening here, as this person became older, he began to realize that, there is no point judging in that kind of way. The reality is such that life is all gray. And so the key part that we shouldn't be in the business of is trying to tell people what their individual morality should be, or for that matter, seek to violate, human decency based upon some kind of very narrow interpretation of the laws, right? So this would happen with the aging process. You see, some of the people may never change, okay? You see, but many of them will change, but you cannot universally make the statement they will all change. So yes, Bharatji, go ahead.
I have a question about one of the yamas that we were talking about.
Yes.
And we were especially talking about ahimsa.
Hmm.
And the example was of the Bhagavad Gita, where the distinction is made between violence, which is wanton, and violence, which is your dharma or duty.
Yeah.
In one conflict, both sides may have different views. So in the case
Yes.
of this,
It is
Pandavas,
your individual conscience that governs you.
so it becomes, so obviously then there is a shades of gray in terms of what is wanton violence and what is permissible violence or karma or dharma, sorry.
Exactly. In
So-
other words, there may be people whom we view as terrorists, but in their own mind, they are being dharmic.
Correct. So the point I was going to ask was that, so if there is this gray area, which is not just in ahimsa, but all the yamas, is the idea that through the practice of yoga, you will find the right balance in that gray area?
You see, the key thing in practice of balance, what you will find is your own call to your duty. In other words, that's what we call as your swadharma, the duty for which you're born to fulfill. Okay,
Right.
So in recognizing your duty, me as the instrument of the divine flow, what my duty is. You see, of course, given where I am, I cannot even fathom that we would do anything that would be, violent or, anything that would be of that kind. But then, who knows by what circumstances, the cosmic flow puts people into, right?
Right, right.
But one thing is sure, the world is moving away from violence. If there is a violence, people will move away. That's what happening for the past. If you look at the history, so we are going towards a place where there's no violence.
There is
How can you say that when so many right wingers are making their presence felt all over the world?
Oh, hold 1 second. There is a saying called "even the worm will turn at last." Okay, while a lot of people may be walking away from violence, that is generally true. But what is happening is there are people who are prodding you towards it all the time. Okay, at some point in time, it is going to burst. Whether it is in a national sense. You see, what is happening is, if you look at the whole movements of Black Lives Matter, okay, and there is unconditionally, it is true that African Americans have been simply with prejudice in mind, the police and how their work has happened. But at the same time, there are so many other factors that go in along with it. Okay, but the other side of it is, if you look at it at a national level, look at in the world, China is prodding everyone towards a war. Whether it is India or Japan or Taiwan, or whether Vietnam or Philippines, in their expansionist view, right? So in other words, what happens is we cannot say anything of that nature, how it is going to happen. This is what we say, it is the play of the cosmos, the divine Leela, right? So we have to let it be what it will be. But as a yogi, it shouldn't affect you, whatever comes. Okay,
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
See, violence will move away from every. Sorry, interrupt. If the violence is going to come to the guy, something, then he will step back, right?
Not
Finally, what will
necessarily.
become
There
non-violence.
will be a time when you have to say the bully has to be taught a lesson. Then you will give a big, smack. And what happens if you think in terms of the Mahabharata, right? What did Krishna do? He said, just give 5 villages to the Pandavas and we are square. They said, no, we won't give even 5 villages. That's when the war went on to happen, right? So in other words, what happens is when you reach a point of no return, violence may happen. Yeah, retaliation. Okay. So shall we continue? Kumar, you were going to say something?
Yes, I was going to ask about these avatars that we have been talking of. We have in the Hindu avatars, whatever religion, they are also born with the Mula Klesha, correct?
Yeah.
At least with the minimal Mula Klesha they are born with. So let us take the case of Sri Krishna. So Vyasa addressing him as Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita, is it because that he burnt all the kleshas in his lifetime at a very young age?
What is the meaning of Bhagavan?
I would think it is something close to calling somebody a guru or even higher than a guru.
No. There are 6 qualities I think they have to have Bhagavan represents. No?
And what are they?
Well, one is absolute, what is it? I've written down somewhere.
One would think it is God realized, complete connection with the cosmos.
No, it's a complete mastery is the first one. Dharma is the second one. Yash is the third one. Shri is the fourth one. Jnana is the fifth. And Vairagya. When you have all these 6 qualities, that is what Bhagavan is.
Okay. So in other words, what he has basically told you with those 6 qualities is, one of them that was not there is that Bhagavan is the creator. Right? So in other words, what is happening is, when the concept of an avatar Purusha is simply that being who has the sense of dharma to go and correct the trajectory of how the cosmic cosmos is flowing. And that is the one who is able to change it and bring it into the right track. That is the concept that you hear right from the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Yada Yada Glanir Bhavati Bharata, right? So the thing is basically, that is the true nature of an avatar. And that is why it has got nothing to do with being God or anything like that. Okay, so we'll close that over here. We are already way out of time, even though I stopped 15 minutes back. Okay, so now let's go on to our chakra vibrations. So bring your, there is nobody new today in the practice, right? Okay, so bring your awareness to the perineum, press the little finger, and let's go to Lam. Take a deep breath in. Release the fingers and one last time. Bring the awareness 1 inch above the perineum, behind the place where we urinate, and as you slightly draw in over there, we do the mantra Vam as we press the ring finger with the thumb. Release the fingers and continue. Last time. Now bring the awareness behind the navel in the middle of the body. Here we, as you draw in at the navel, we do the mantra, Ram, press the middle finger with the thumb. Ram. Release the fingers and continue. Bring the awareness in between the breasts in the middle of the body, and here we do the sound yum, and we press the index finger with the thumb. Release the finger and continue. Bring the awareness to the throat, and here we do the sound hum. Thumbs up mudra with a loose fist. Take a deep breath. Release your hands and continue. Now bring the awareness to the middle of the head, and here we want to do the mantra Chum, and again thumbs up mudra. Sham. Release your hands and continue. Sham. Bring the awareness to the top of the head in the middle, right on the scalp. And there we do the mantra, Om, thumbs up mudra. Om. Om. Release the hands and continue. Om. 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 Now we go on to the happy face breathing. Those of you who know how to do it, please proceed. Those of you who need instruction, close your eyes and focus at the throat, the hole at the bottommost part of the mouth through which air and food goes down. Focusing there, make a big smile. Feel the cheeks pull out in a big smile and feel the throat stretch just a little bit. Focus on the stretch in the throat. As you inhale and exhale, feel it rubbing at the throat, and you will feel a slight sucking sensation. So it's almost like sucking in a straw. You will feel that in the throat. Continue. Now let's go on to the spinal alignment exercise. Today it'll probably be a little short, followed by the pranayam and then meditation. Meditation may only have 5 minutes today. So go ahead, Vijaya.
Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, gently bring the ear down to the shoulder. Inhale and come back. Exhale and bring the other ear down to the shoulder. Inhale and come back. Continue. As you come back, exhale and look over one shoulder. Inhale and come back. Exhale and look over the other shoulder. Inhale and come back. And continue. As we come back, and with the next inhalation, take your head backwards. Exhale and bring the chin down to the chest. Inhale and head backwards. Exhale and chin down to the chest. And continue. As we exhale and come down, we'll do the 360-degree neck rotations. Inhale for half a circle and exhale the other half, and continue in the same direction. As you come back to the center, we'll switch directions. Inhale for half a circle and exhale the other half. And continue. Relax as you come back. For the next exercise, we'll alternate our shoulders. Inhale and lift up one shoulder. Exhale, rotate and bring it back down. Inhale and lift up the other shoulder. Exhale, rotate and bring it back down. And continue. Relax as you come back. We'll now do the hand exercises. Stretch your hands and keep them straight. As you inhale, open out your palms and keep them perpendicular to the forearm. As you exhale, thumbs in and fists down. Inhale, exhale. Continue. As we exhale and bring our fists down, we'll do the fist rotations. Inhale for half a circle and exhale the other half, and continue. As we come back, we'll switch directions. Inhale for half a circle and exhale the other half, and continue. Relax as you come back. For the next exercise, let's bring our elbows in line with the shoulders. Open out your palms and move your wrists up and down as we inhale and exhale. Continue. As we come back down, we'll switch directions. Inhale and exhale and continue. Relax as you come back. For the next exercise, let's interlock our hands and place them behind the head. Make sure the elbows are at 180 degrees and the head is straight. As you exhale, turn to one side. Inhale and come back. Exhale and turn the other side. Inhale and come back. And continue. Relax as you come back. For the next exercise, let's get our elbows above the head. As you exhale, pull on one side. Inhale and come back. Exhale and pull on the other elbow. Inhale and come back. And continue. Feel the stretch along your shoulder blades as you do this exercise. Relax as you come back. For the next exercise, let's get our hands on either side of the spine. As you inhale, push back on one side, making a backward arch. Exhale and come back. Inhale and push on the other side. Exhale and come back and continue. Relax as you come back. We'll now do both our shoulders together. Inhale and lift up both your shoulders. Exhale, push back, rotate, and bring it back down. Inhale and exhale. Continue. Relax as you come back. We'll now move to the next exercise and cross one leg over the other and hold the knee with your interlocked hand. Exhale and pull up the leg and turn to the same direction as the leg you're holding. Inhale and release. Exhale, pull and turn. Inhale and release. And continue. As you come back down, we'll switch to the other leg. Exhale, pull and turn. Inhale and release. And continue. Feel the stretch along your thighs as you do this. Relax as you come back. We'll do the cycling exercise with 5 counts on each leg. Inhale and bring up the leg. Exhale and stretch it out in a cycling motion. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch to the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Relax as you come back. We'll do just a minute of alternate nostril breathing or Anulom Vilom and move to Bhastrika Pranayama. So for alternate nostril breathing, we exhale and inhale through the same nostril. So if you begin your first inhalation with the left nostril, you exhale and inhale through the right nostril. Close your right nostril. Exhale and inhale through the left nostril. Close your left nostril and continue. As you complete the breath, we'll move to Bhastrika Pranayama. And since there's nobody new and we're short of time, we'll move to the exercise. So the exhalation is a little longer than the inhalation. We'll do 1 round today and visualize the vitality of the breath as we inhale and exhale. So if you're ready, inhale, exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 16. Exhale. 17. Exhale. 18. Exhale. 19. Exhale. 20. And exhale. Keep your eyes closed. Relax. Observe any sensations in the head and also as they dissipate.
Keeping your eyes closed, feel the sensations dissipate in your head. As they dissipate, we are going to go into meditation. Tell yourself, I give up all ideas and concepts, and I care about nothing. If you have a personal mantra, you can chant that personal mantra in your mind. Otherwise, you can listen to Om in the background. Use whatever mudra works for you. Keeping your eyes closed, affirm to yourself, may I be guided to fulfill the purpose for which I was born. With that, bring both the palms in front of your face, open your eyes and look directly into the palm of your hands. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice-
Namaste.
Namaste.
See you all tomorrow.
Yeah.